Where am I? I've got to make sure that all this stuff is working appropriately. Trying to make sure that I can use the chat. This is all going to be. Where am I? I've got to make sure that all this stuff is working appropriately. Trying to make sure that I don't need to hear that. All I need to do is just sit here and talk and see if anybody's here, and then I will start jibber jabbering incoherently about things that I may or may not know. Also, guys, let me know how the quality, well, anybody who's there, let me know how the quality of the thing is. And I'm probably going to sound loud. Let's see, how do I get the chat here? Chat. Chitter chatter. Alright, so this and exactly this and like that. Excellent. Okay. Everything is wonderful. I hope it all works out. So I'm just waiting on some peeps. Hopefully peeps show. If peeps don't show, then I'm gonna cry. Now just talk to myself. I'm good at that. I'm very good at talking to myself. So let me give it a few more times. You get to see me drink a little bit while I do. Just like gurgle. Yummy. All right, so far so good. So many people are here, just incoherently, tons of people showing up in this thing. Yeah, so reason why I wanted to do this, guys, just trying to do different things. I want to do some videos, different ways. Got a lot of things that I'm working on, a lot of things in the back burner. So meanwhile, I want to do live video. A lot of people are doing it. Looks like a lot of fun, and so I'm getting involved. Things that are fun, I like to do. I like to get involved in. So that's why I'm doing it. To be honest with you, that's a bad. That's Sean Connery. when I'm like not nervous, I won't say nervous because I'm not really nervous. It's just more like. What's the word I'm looking for? Nervous? I tend to do impressions. I lose myself in other things. This is T.L. Gray. Yeah, so what I wanted to do, guys, I wanted to talk about Hollywood and the problems that we're all having with Hollywood. And actually the problems Hollywood is having with Hollywood. And not just Hollywood. I mean, I say Hollywood, but I mean a lot of things. The whole entertainment industry is gone for shizzle. It's gone, bye bye. Don't like it. It's not what it used to be. And sometimes I think to myself, and I'm like, is it just that I'm getting older, right? Is it that like when you're young and every you hear the old timer, all the old timers go like, where are you kids today? In my day everything's better. In your day it sucks balls. And I think is this what's happening to us? Is that we're just drifting away? The time is passing on us all, and we don't get with the times, with the new generation. We just don't want to let think about that. Well, a lot of times because I'm like, this is just me. Am I being an old timer and just going, I hate all your music and your video games and all that stuff. Hate it, And but it's not really, because when I think back to when I was a kid, and even if there were my grandfather and stuff, even if they were saying like, I didn't like, all your cartoons are violent and all your music that sounds crazy or it's all electronic, and everyone talks like that. At least it was unique. It was ours. You know what I'm saying? Like we could take ownership of it, and you can't say that about this generation. You can't say that they have anything that's theirs. It's kind of a sad thing that that they can. It's a sad thing that this generation that our kids they're just looking at rehash old stuff, and they're like, and then we just keep reminding them about how shitty your version of that thing is, right? And even from just that perspective, where it's like, and it's honestly bad. Okay, I'm like, we could talk about individual. We'll talk about individual things in a minute, but in the end, it's it's. Hold on, I want to refresh this. It was on. Yeah. In the end, though, it's not good. In the end, it's like this stuff is not good. It's not just that I mean, I could give you a list of the reasons to why things aren't good. Animation sucks. It's lazy, repackaged, reproduced. It seems like fast food. It's all fast food now. Everything is just done for money. And back in our day, yes, okay. And I used to say, well, in the '80s, and everything was done cynically for money, and that's true. Things were done cynically and was done for money. But are we trying to? Are we who are we kidding here? It's like we're thinking, well, today they're not. Today it's not for money. Yeah, you're right. Not Disney and all these. They got our best interest at heart right now. Now it's all about looking for the best quality. That's what it's about. They're not trying to sell toys. They're not trying to sell things. No, no, they're trying to sell everything, including an agenda. Which we'll get into that. But yeah, I mean, I think that's just a portion of what's wrong with our entertainment industry in total. But yeah, I mean, obviously the messages and that stuff is definitely a huge problem that's going on, and but it's not the only thing. I think so like when they call the '80s cynical because oh they just wanted to make cartoons, so they just wanted to make cartoons to sell kids toys, and um, they wanted to make you know uh, whatever like movies and all this stuff. Just keep packaging them and sending them out like mass producing. But at the same time, they gave us quality. They gave us ideas. They took chances. They took risks. And even though they did make cartoons to sell toys, the toys were still pretty freaking awesome. You can't deny that. At least they put effort into it, even though they were trying to. But they were also honest about it. It's like today, they're trying to lie. Oh yeah, right. You're not bringing back Shira because you want to sell toys. You didn't bring back Voltron because you didn't want to sell toys. Because they'll tell you if the minute the toys don't sell, they're pulling that right off the air. So don't go lying. Say it's any different now than it was back then. The only difference is back then they actually cared about the product, and on top of this, because good product meant good show, meant good toys, meant long-lasting toys. And what they did was the huge difference was they asked the big question we all want to know, and that is, what do they want? What do kids want? What do kids want to play with? That's what they ask. Today, they don't give a crap about that question. They don't ask, what does they bought, Disney buy Star Wars, and I never heard Mickey Mouse ever go, oh, what do they want? What do the what do Star Wars fans want? Oh, never heard, Mickey doesn't care about what Star Wars fans want at this moment. They seem to only care about, money. At least, like I said, yes, they cared about money in the '80s. Yes, it was cynical, but there was at least an element of creativity to it. Huge element. And they did care about the product because the product meant lack of sales. This is just stupid. This is just they're throwing out stuff in spite of the fact of the sales. Like they don't care anymore about sales. I don't know. Or they just want to divide, which is a whole other topic, right? Is it a divide and conquer tactic? The British used to employ that tactic back in the Empire days, in countries like India and stuff. They go in there and is that what's happening here? Is this conspiratorial? Getting into Alex Jones territory. Oh, they got to cancel my channel. You get what I'm trying to say, guys. This a lot of this is just sort of mind-boggling. You kind of have to go hit your head and just slam against the window for a while before you can make sense of any of it. It baffles the mind. It breaks the will. Ah, yeah, tea. I'm not a big tea drinker, but today, on this special occasion, my first ever live stream I am carrying. So yeah, I don't see too many people in chat. Maybe I got to change the time. People might watch it later on and say, "Hey, I was shiny, I was trying." I also made it a little bit earlier. I know I told everybody midnight, but probably people are sleeping. It's not the best time. I don't know, but I'm trying. We'll try it. Just the situation. Maybe somebody will come another time. But I still like this conversation I'm going to have, even if it's with myself. Yeah. So I just hope that the audio is working. I wish I was one person here who could actually tell me if the audio is working. But they're not. So I think it is. If I let me just see here, one person here who could actually tell me if the audio is working. But they're not. So the audio is working. Good. My audio is working. So yeah. Yeah. So like I said, I go through all this stuff, and then online you have, on top of the fact that the movies are dry, the television shows. Okay, it's hard to say with TV because I think network television is gone. Network television is pretty much, again, another superhero show, another doctor show, another what how many CSI lives are we gonna have? You know, if we have CSI Toronto, see, how about CSI Sesame Street? We just have, oh no, Elmo got somebody, Elmo murdered somebody down the road. Oh no. You know, like Big Bird. What happened to Big Bird? He's on a slab. Like, what are we doing? Like, everything is like the same five shows, just rehashed, returned. Like, how many doctor shows? How many, it's just the same thing. It's the network television. Everything's another superhero show, you know. So that's kind of, network television for me is also one of those that's just dying. That's why everything's almost starting to go, everything's pretty much becoming Netflix and, I guess HBO. But even that, I mean, without Game of Thrones, what is HBO? I don't know. You know, and then you have to have internet connection, and you have to sign up for this channel. You know, and that's so let's in the like I do like Netflix. I do think that Netflix, I watch a lot of Netflix shows. And it's a hit and miss situation. But I think it's growing, and I think that's the only, to me, the only bright spot in the entertainment industry, if I may say. I used to think YouTube was a bright spot, and I do still like YouTube. I mean, obviously, I'm on YouTube, so I must like it to some degree. Please, masters of YouTube, don't get rid of me. I didn't mean to speak ill of thee. But yeah, I mean, but even that is starting to become, who the heck knows what the future of YouTube is, right? They're demonetizing channels, they're making people lose subs spontaneously, they're kicking people off at random, like or just because they don't like what you're saying. So it used to be an interesting forum once upon a time when anyone could do say whatever the hell they wanted within reason. Now I don't know. Now it's just there's more to it now, and it's not what it used to be. They're just not what it used to be. It goes back to, sorry, I'm adjusting the camera here. I don't like angles at times. But yeah, so this, like, it gets back to that whole thing, and just people constantly arguing. And that's another thing. Like, fans, are we contributing to this? That's one of those things that I have to ask myself a lot of times, because I've heard. I'm not going to say which channels they are because I don't bash channels, um, but I've heard a few channels do this where they'll talk ill about the Last Jedi, and then they'll talk. Why would you? It's such a good movie. No, you know what I'm saying. Like, they'll talk ill about uh, these things, cartoons, Voltron, SGW stuff, and then then when the SGWs talk ill about something, then they attack the SGWs for talking ill, and everybody's just attacking each other for talking ill about something they don't believe in. Everybody's pretty much doing the same thing, but towards their own means. And we're all in the same boat, right? I mean, well, not exactly. You know, we're not trying to. I'm not trying to push an agenda, right? Which is what the difference is, I guess. They're trying to push their agenda, and if they don't like, and then if they don't see what they don't like what they see in it, if it doesn't fit their agenda, yeah, that's a different story. We just want to see good stories, and if the stories don't like, if we don't like what we see in the stories or the art of it, we complain. I guess there is a difference, but in the end, we're just everything is complaints, and I almost could feel like people just don't know what the heck to do anymore. Everyone's just sort of running around in circles, just throwing shit against the wall, seeing what sticks, and nothing is sticking. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Little Flanders. Nothing at all. Yeah. And it is a bit sad. It's a bit sad that that's what we've kind of come to. I'm not sure. I think the chat is working or nobody's here. I don't know. Did I even enable the chat? Oh, this is just bugged. There was people on before. Anyway, yeah. So, like I said, I was kind of hoping some people would show up today because I wanted to speak to some people. But let me know what time is good for you guys. Maybe people are just sleeping or they're not here at this hour. Maybe I'll try again during the day. I can't do it tomorrow. I'm going to be on set, so won't be able to go. But anyway, but yeah, I'm here in Fashion Hollywood. I'm going to be in the show tomorrow. Yeah. But it's not just Hollywood, like I said. It's video games. Go to an EB and just see how many Mass Effects, how many Mario. Like, how many times are we going to see Mario rescue the princess? I mean, it's the same games over. I mean, yes, there's some new games, but for the most part, a lot of times it's just rehashed games. It's Assassin's Creed 325. It's Halo 572. How many Minecrafts? There's a zillions of the same games every year. We gotta have part 5, part 6, part 7. We're gonna have all of that, and there are all minor differences here and there, not huge differences in the gameplay or anything like that. And it just becomes like almost to the point of, what is it, 70? I would say 70% of the games or more are just part 2s, part 3s, part 4s. Guess what, guys? They're coming out with a new Mario. You know who he's bringing along with him? Give you a clue. It rhymes with Luigi. It's like kills to breathe. And again, I'm not saying that I don't want to see those. Of course, we want to see those. We want to see the Mass Effect 2s, the Blaze 4s. Well, maybe not. Mass Effect ain't what it used to be. But there's definitely like that element of people who do want to see those games come back. I do. Can't wait for Red Dead Redemption 2. It's one of my favorite things. Red Dead Redemption 2. Didn't that show? Yeah, and I'm waiting for that. I like Grand Theft Autos and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm against that. I'm just saying that there's not enough new, because everyone's so looking to the past and trying to relive the past that they don't care about what's new. And that's kind of, I mean, like I said, who's to blame for this? Is it just Hollywood? Is it just the entertainment industry in general, or are we all sort of complicit in this? Like, yes, SGWs are complicit. They want to push down their agendas. We're complicit because we only want to see what we remember, and we only want to see what we could trust. I mean, there's another thing. Our theater's complicit in the fact that they jar. I mean, again, we're going back to movies, but how much is it to go see a movie, right? I mean, me myself, to go see a movie. I mean, do we want to go see a comedy which plays the same on your television as it does in the theater? Yes, you got crowd and people, but some people don't like the crowd in the theater. Some people, I know a lot of people that hate talking to. Hate the talking around and the lights and the crap. So there's no incentive for a lot of these kids to go to a theater when and yet they drive up the prices in the movies. And so, like, to go see a movie now just with you and your kids, popcorn, costs over $100 and something for 2 hours, and you're not getting any guarantee anymore that it's good. Now, in fact, most of the time it's not. So. I don't know, man. And then there we have the other side of it, which is the the downloading and the free streaming and and the pirating and that crap. I mean, which it all is to blame. It is all to blame for this. There's no one. I don't think there's just one target, right? There's not one person to say, "Hey, you're at fault, man. You did it." We can't just say it's Putin. Putin, he did it. Damn you, Putin, ruining Hollywood. It's so much is it out there that's to blame for this, for the decline in entertainment industry. I mean, another thing, the people in it, the actors, the directors, the producers, I mean, I don't want to get into this, but I'm gonna have to get into it a little bit. I'm not even gonna talk specifically about any one or two people, but I'm just gonna say, more and more, um, the people who we grew up loving, the people who we admire, are coming out, and we're finding more about them, and they're not the people we thought they were. And the illusion behind these people, and Twitter is a lot to blame for that, because a lot of these guys should stay the hell off Twitter. Just stay the freaking hell off Twitter, man. I mean, it's too tempting to just keep spitting whatever nonsense that heads in your head. Not everything has to be shared, guys. You know, some things keep in your pocket. You don't need to be sharing everything on Twitter, and not every freaking thought in your head has to come out and typed, right? And that's another problem, because the people we looked up to and admired, we're starting to realize how much what big shitheads they are half the time. And we don't want to look at these people the same way anymore. And they want us to adore, I'm an actor, I'm a director, I'm a producer. Give me your money, lavish me with riches. I'm not going to lavish you with shit. You look like you're a piece of crap, man. You're a jerk. You know, how many times Twitter infuriates me, because I mean, how many of these people come out there and you just want to, like, like, for instance, art. We all liked, if you liked Da Vinci, Salvador Dali, and maybe if you liked the classical music, maybe do you love the Beatles at the time? You grew up with the Beatles, right? And then you had, what was the biggest problem with the Beatles during the time? The biggest problem with the Beatles was they'd open their mouth and say shit. That was stupid. Like they said, like John Lennon went out and said that he believed that they were like as popular as Jesus, and and he was misunderstood or whatever. But people threw Beatles albums out the window. Imagine if John Lennon was on Twitter, they might have shot him earlier. I'm not condoning shooting anybody. It's just a fact. But if these guys had Twitter back in the day, can you imagine rock stars? Can you imagine all these guys like in the 70s and the 60s and 50s, if they had Twitter, and just Babe Ruth, if he had Twitter, just the world wouldn't have been the same, right? Our athletes, our stars, the people we put up in pedestals, we would not look at them the way we look at them today. Definitely not, right? And I think celebrities today have to be, maybe managers are like, you guys are good to go on Twitter. It's good because you're getting your name out there. Go on Instagram, selfie yourself 1,000 times. Take pictures of you with little kids, but there's no one telling these guys to stop. Just stop talking, shut your mouth, close your damn Twitter account for 5 seconds, stop it. Ryan Johnson, I'm telling you, you made things 1,000 times worse by opening your mouth on Twitter. There's no reason for it. You guys, you're egos and egomaniacs, and I don't know, it makes it that much worse. So much that is just so wrong right now with Hollywood that you ask yourself, how do you fix this thing? And it's little things in different areas. And I guess if any producers out there listening to the stream or is there anything sacred now out there? Is anything half decent entertainment wise? And I keep going to myself and I'm like, I'm more interested in foreign films. Never was before, but suddenly I am. Foreign cartoons. Like, I watch a lot of anime. I watch Korean drama. I don't care, because the Korean dramas I feel like they're at a stage where we were in the 80s. The creativity levels there. They don't care to make that much mistakes. They don't have a huge budget, so they have a good enough budget that they can get away with doing the things they want, but not that big that, the whole thing becomes about budget. So they do have to pay attention to story and stuff. I'm kind of being drawn into because I can't find anything half decent here. It is the way it is, man. I mean, it's a shame, man. It's a shame. We were all raised with this, and in the world the way it is. Sorry if I'm a loud drinker, guys. I don't know. I keep looking here. I know I'm supposed to be looking at the camera. I don't even know where the hell I'm looking. But the world is a pretty dark place right now, in a bad place. I don't think. I mean, it's always been dark. It's always been in a bad place. I think the difference is, I mean, yeah, I mean, come on, 1940 we had World War One, World War Two, we had the Great Depression. There was tons of times, you know, Vietnam War, and all tons of times when things were bad throughout history. It's always been, you know, go ways back when. Never good. And we're just looking at it today, another tough time. I think the difference is though, is with the social media, is that we know more. We can't live in blind ignorance the way we used to be able to. If you just wanted to tune out and just go watch a movie, just hide from the world, you know, you knew like maybe there was Blitzkrieg was happening outside your window, maybe for a moment hide behind the curtain. Probably not. It's pushing it. But you get my point, right? You could kind of hide from the world at times. Now you can't. The world finds you. The world finds you at home. The world finds you on your computer. The world finds you on your phone. The world finds you wherever you go. Hell, you're even getting Amber Alerts now. You're having a coffee in your phone. Goes, ding, some chick is missing. You know, ding, you know, little girl is gone. You know, and you're like, you can't escape the negativity, just depression of just constant, just the force of evil, just hammering down on you 24 hours a day. And that's why I think more now we need an escape than ever before. Like, you know, hockey for me, sports for a lot of people, but even that, you know, it's the contracts are through the roof. People making millions of dollars at like, you know, astronomically insane. And I'm not trying to rag on everything. It's just because there is good. There's always good. You know, I do like that we still have the freedom to, for the most part, which we didn't back in the day. In the 80s, you know, we didn't have the freedom to just pick up a computer and just do a live stream and have, you know, people watch, you know, a whole bunch, right? We didn't have that opportunity, right? We had to go through production companies and all that stuff. Be selected, you know, to do it. Now we can do it on our own volition, and it's awesome. Hopefully, continues, right? But you know, there is good. I mean, I do, like I said, Netflix and stuff. There is some good stuff being made. It's just, I just don't want it to. We kind of have to take a pause, right? And I see that the world is we're all sort of battling, battling with each other, battling for no reason, really. I mean, think about it. I mean, someone just. I mean, I'm not going to steal opinions there for a thing, but I'm just going to touch on it just a little bit. That, like, the new Batgirl came out, and she's a lesbian woman, and or I think she's bi. I'm not even sure, but I know that she's gay, and the lesbian community said she's not gay enough. Damn it, she's just not gay enough to play Batgirl. I changed my hair with the occasion. Um, I changed it a while ago. I just haven't really been on a lot lately. The occasion, I actually burnt my hair. I always do it once a year. I've got baby fine hair. If you could see, the light sees through it. It's always been like that. And I find that when it's my normal color, you can sort of see my hair. You can sort of see it. Oh, by the way, hi, Wargle Portal. Wargle Portal. Sorry, I know who you are. You're just not a good pronouncer of names. I can't even pronounce Sheeny or Tiny. Tiny. Yeah. Thank you for coming on, by the way. I appreciate it. Now I'm not a lonely guy just talking to the mic. So, yeah, like I said, when I have the light on, I can see through it. It bugs me. So I go blonde and kind of blends with my head a little bit better. That's why I do it. I've been doing it since I was in high school. Chicks dig it. I think so. No one's ever told me that they do, but just hearsay. But yeah. So what like I'm saying, back to the whole thing to you is I don't know. I don't know what we could do. I'm not that maybe we can't do anything as individuals, but maybe as a group things can be done. But I feel like even the industry, whatever it is, video games, television, movies. Did you hear any of what I said? Because I have to repeat it. I'm not sure how long you've been watching. Because I don't want to repeat myself. I mean, I don't mind repeating myself. You know, just figuring out what time, how long you've been there. But the whole point was just like I've been saying, how the world is just the entertainment industry is just not. You know, it's obviously gone down the shitter, and there's like so much involved in it. It's not one, you can't define one problem. Yes, SJWs are a problem. Yes, yes, you know, it's my net game nickname, Batgirl. Not gay enough. The same as Scarlett Johansson is not trans enough. Yeah, yeah, that was insane thing, and I heard that. It's just I can't. It's like you can't please anybody, man. Nobody could get pleased anymore. It's just everyone's just out for blood. Just a bunch of vampires going, give me blood, and it's just, you know, can't we all just for 1 minute just enjoy things and stop? You know, I mean, I feel like sometimes a hypocrite because I hate this, I hate Star Wars, but at the same time, you know, I'm not complaining because necessarily the movie was bad, which it was, but I'm complaining this way more because, or because of an individual character is a certain way, is more that they're trying to force feed political messages down our throat, and we just want to, you know, be entertained. Whereas these people are getting upset because their expectations of people aren't what they should be. Sanity, man. I mean, I feel like if we get to this bad, maybe Hollywood is just going to close the door and say, "All right, we're done. We don't know how to please anybody anymore. No more movies, and we're all just going to sort of be without, you know, forever because not forever, but you know, for a long time." 'Cause I feel like the Hollywood industry, the movie industry, and all of these industries, they feel like they're confused. They don't know what the hell to do anymore. They don't know how to please us, and I don't think we know how to be pleased. You know, and I'm not, you know, I'm talking about everybody. It's sort of like expectations are extremely high, and we can't really get what's the word I'm looking. We can't really we can't be satisfied. We have this fiendish desire that needs to be satiated. And I'm not talking about me or us. I'm talking about the grander me, the grander we. You know, and that involves SJWs and everybody else included into this. And it's we all sort of have to take some onus in this. No one is blameless in this whole thing. Um, if we spent money on new things, they would probably be more brazen and be more wanting to send us new things. But because we just the same old tried, tested, and true stuff that they keep sending out to us, we just spend money on it. Just a new superhero movie that seems to be what makes money, and so they just respond by giving us more superhero movies, right? And then when that gets old, then they have to find something else, and so they go and reach back to what worked in the past because they really don't have ideas anyway. It just ran out. I don't know. They're just not getting it from the right places. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to pinpoint this and hard to fix this, and I don't think it's fixable. Not, not, not. It's in the foreseeable future though. It's hot in here, guys. I'm sorry. It's the heat in here. I have to turn off the AC because it's too loud. So if I'm sweating, you're going to see me just melt away and just But yeah, I mean, you got Star Wars, which I don't think it's ever going to be fixed. I don't think Star Wars can be fixed. The only way I can see fixing Star Wars is if they break it into two universes at this point. And I don't want to do that. It's just you have to have something sort of for the new people. Be like, here, we're going to break this into two worlds. We'll split it in two. We'll have this verse and this verse, multiverse, Star Wars multiverse, and you have, you know, J.J. Abrams' verse on one hand with Kathleen Kennedy's SJW bill, and on the other hand, we'll have the good Star Wars. More like the one we know and remember. And it starts from scratching it. That's the only way I see we can all be happy, because I think we're at this point where the divide is just too far gone, and if they go toward us and help and make us feel comfortable, then they're alienating now the people that they actually liked the movie, which don't ask me why they do, but some sicko reason. I mean, why Raylo is a thing, I have no clue. But Halo was a thing. The world is the world. And so there's no way we're going to ever get together on this. And not just with this, but with a lot of things. Star Trek is another one. You know, you have this, and you have this new generation that doesn't know anything about Kirk. Doesn't care. They don't care to know about Kirk. They don't care to know about Spock, how he was. And when they start bringing in the new characters, they're going to be like, "Well, this is what Spock is now," and we're going to be sitting there, just, like getting angry because they're like, "That's not Spock. That's not Kirk. That's just." And the kids and the new people, they're just gonna be like, "Hey, I don't know. I don't know the difference." Yes, I did. I did hear they're splitting it into two movies or two parts. I don't really know much about. I mean, I've read a few things they're doing for episode 9. There's just so much of it is all over the place. Splitting into two parts, I guess, makes sense. I think if they're going to do that, my guess is that they're trying to um, probably fix the last whatever they broke in the Last Jedi. So the first part would probably be to retroactively fix what they messed up, and then the second part, yeah, uh, the second part would be to probably go forward into the story. That's my guess. That's my only guess. I mean, I don't know what they actually plan or JJ actually plans. I do believe that they need to appease the fans in two parts. So the first part I said is just to probably go back and fix what they broke if they can, which I don't think you can't fix a lot of that stuff. I don't know how they're going to. I don't know how you're going to fix Skywalker. That to me is my biggest pet peeve of the whole thing. Like that, fixing Skywalker is a must. I don't know how to do that if he's dead, and I'm hoping he's not. Did you hear anything? Is he dead? Do you think he's coming back? Because I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. But and I also heard Solo was coming back. I don't know if that's any truth or if that's just a rumor. I would like to see him come back, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to actually happen. I would like to see, but he's my favorite character, and I didn't like the way he died. He died. I want him to die on his own terms, not on his own, saving someone, not not like a die a cowboy, hero's death, not die at the hands of a little biatch child, whiny baby. I don't want that. That's not how I envision his death, and so I hope they do bring him back. They should make spin-off for the gap between episode 6 and episode 7. Yeah, I was even thinking about. I don't know what you think about this. I think we've done some amazing stuff with special effects. I mean, sorry, with CGI. For instance, I don't know if you are familiar with the Final Fantasy movies, but that's some of the most fantastic CGI I've ever seen. And some of it looks real. Like, well, you can't even tell you're watching a movie at times. And I was thinking that if they go, I mean, Disney has all the money in the world. So spend a shit ton of money to make the best CGI possible. And yeah, I would say go, yeah, fill that gap, but do it in a CGI. You know what I mean? I know people might not be, what I'm trying to think is, okay, the Clone Wars cartoon, which I'm just getting into, was the CGI, and it's kind of mediocre to bad CGI compared to what they could do now and on the big screen. And if they could just make them look so awesome and just have a movie to just explain it, and not just explain it, but fix it, even if it's a between the 7 and 6 movie, like you said, but something that just, you know, a opinion. Yeah. So if they could just go back and fix it like that with just a CGI movie, I think it would be good. I mean, they could do some fantastic things, and you could have Luke a little younger. You can. I don't like the fact you have to bring Leia back for that, but if everybody's CGI, then it won't matter so much. Uh, um, you know, hey, opinion. I don't know if you've been watching this. This whole time because I'm not to repeat myself. You should have got here earlier. I know I said 12, didn't I? I'm a jerk. I started a little earlier. I got to wake up early tomorrow, and that's why I decided to go a little early, just a little bit. Sorry, guys. My bad. But yeah, that's how I would fix it. Not even fix it. It's just the best thing I could think of is with a CGI, a full fledged, awesomely made CGI movie, um, with the original voice actors except for Leia. Maybe you can get somebody. Um, my high was to your high. Stop yelling. Am I yelling? I have a tendency to do that. Um, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think that going forward with this, I have very little hope. Um, in the end, I'm like, I hope they split up in Star Wars into like 13 parts because I want to stall before seeing Ryan Johnson's trilogy. The longer it takes between now to get from now to Ryan Johnson's trilogy, I'd rather they do that. Just let's all stall for time because we got to get that guy. I won't be able to sleep knowing that he's got a trilogy. I really want his trilogy done and gone. I want an announcement soon. I kid. Just listening in. Don't mind me. His opinion. Well, I'm not minding you. Just don't mind me. Yeah. So that's how I don't know. I don't. My biggest pet peeve is the Ryan Johnson part of this whole thing. I don't know how like he could be good, but I just can't stand the guy. I can't stand him. Um, Not even his personality. I don't know him personally, but his I guess directorial personality and his online personality I don't like. And I really don't. I wouldn't give money to that guy or anything he's done in association with Disney or Star Wars. But yeah, no, I don't have much hope for this episode 9, and I'm probably most likely not going to see it. You guys, are you going to see it? Because I don't know if I'm going to see it. I'm still on the fence, to be perfectly honest. And just waiting to see what your response is. Let me have some water because I'm getting parched. But anyway, back to what I was saying before. Yeah, I think at some point we all have to send a message, and I don't know how to do this, but with everything that is out there right now, and like I said, the world is so messed, and with can't walk out here, so sun is beating down on your face, the heat's too hot, um, the world is just pedophiles are coming out of the closet. I don't even know who they are anymore. There's new ones are constantly being accused, and rapers are being accused in Hollywood, and you don't know who the hell to like and all the people you love. I mean, growing up, I was a freaking huge Bill Cosby fan. And at least I used to wake up in the morning and drink my Jello pudding pops and Dylan, and now he's just you find out the guy you admired your whole life um, is you know. I will see Chinese stream. I will not spend money for a ticket. They didn't deserve my money. I'm with you, buddy. I'm going to see probably a Korean stream. those those Koreans can stream some fine movies. They make some fine movies too. I like Korean movies. And if there's some Koreans watching or listening later on, saranye. I don't know what that means. I just know it's Korean. I think it means I love you in Korean. A whole bunch of Koreans that I love, and I do. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'll wait for the stream myself, probably. Again, I'll if I see. Here's the thing. I want to see these movies. I really want to see them. I don't go to movies. I don't sit here hating on things because I want to hate things. I legitimately want to like these things. And so if from now to then, if Ryan Johnson is fired or shot out of a cannon somewhere really far, preferably the moon, way less there, not making light of his weight, the moon will do that. Um, if Kathleen Kennedy, gets lost in the wilderness, uh, yeah, the only movie Disney, Rogue One I liked. Um, but there was something missing in it, right? It lacked an element that, like, it was visually stunning. Yeah, I want to start a petition to get Ryan Johnson shot out of a cannon. Is there? Can we start that petition? I mean, we've done all the other petitions. Can that petition has to be started? Uh, let's, let's see. Let's see his response to that petition. Get Ryan Johnson shot out of a cannon, and right into Kathleen Kennedy. We'll just post Kathleen Kennedy up on a pole right on the top, and just shoot Ryan Johnson out of a cannon into Kathleen Kennedy, and both go to the moon. Uh, but back to what you were saying. Yeah, Rogue One, I liked, but I liked. And I know a lot of people loved this movie, but there was missing a character element to it that just sort of, like it was kind of like watching, um, I don't know, it felt like it had no soul, sort of what I mean. You know, it just it for so long. I think Disney was so afraid of you getting attached to their characters because they knew they were going to die and kill them off that they made them so one dimensional and kind of like blah. That when they did eventually go, spoiler alert, guys, that you were just sort of like, man, really? Who cared? I didn't care about these people. So them going meant nothing to me at that point. That's kind of the main thing. And but the visuals were stunning. It's like I left the theater going, good. There was something missing, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And that's kind of how I felt about that one. I haven't seen Solo. Probably will, like you said, wait for the Korean stream. That's what I'll do. Wait for Koreans to come out with the stream before I watch that one. Cirque du Rey. Yeah, Cirque du Rey. The juggling act that is Disney films. Like I said, Ray and the Raylo stuff. See, that's the real thing that I'm really afraid of. Like, I think I could take most things. I mean, after watching The Last Jedi, you can pretty much take anything. But the Raylo, I can't take. I won't tolerate that nonsense. I just sound slightly hankish. I won't tolerate that nonsense. God dang it. Um, yeah, Cirque du Ray. The only way is if they make, like I said, Ray has to be evil. She has to turn into join the dark side. Then I'll be like, well, okay, that's an interesting twist. Now we've done something interesting with the character. That if she actually turns to the dark side and then has an affair with Ray, that makes more sense. And I would be plotting that one and making introduce a new female character. But then at least then she'd be interesting. You know, any other way, I don't see her interesting unless that would be like a great thing if they just said, "Here's Ray. Ray is now dark and evil and sinister, and her and him to become like this evil duo in space. Evil duo in space, right? And then we have to rise up a new hero. Maybe that's where Finn finds out that he has, powers. He has the Force, and he has to train himself, kind of like Karate Kid. I'm the best. All right. Does this montage. Hey, we're gonna go 80s with it. Might as well go 80s montage and just have him do this. Those trains with Luke and Finn trains with Luke and what's his name? Luke and Yoda at the same time. It's just like this, this whole training thing. They both train Finn to go up against those two, and we'll see. Uh, no, I mean, I just I don't think the Americans have anything to do with it. I mean, I think we're all sort of emotional when it comes to things we love. I mean, they've even said it, like, your brain cannot differentiate between what you see and what you feel at times, and especially when you're watching a movie. I think the reason why people get so angry about these things is because the brain, while you're watching these things, gets very connected with the characters, right? And when you're connecting with the characters, whatever's going on there is happening to you. Um, so it gets, and I didn't find that they were just blunt. I just found that they were blunt. They were just like sort of again, they just had nothing to them. There was no, like, what was what made who they were. Like, you can go through R2D2. R2D2 has a personality. Chewbacca has a personality. They all had personalities that you could define. You could probably sit there and say, you know, who they were and who aren't they. Hello, Merca. Hello, how you doing, Wiser in Time? Glad you could join us. Um, yeah, I do think that Rogue One. I do think Rogue One, like I said, it was good. It was missing that little element, and them dying. We all knew they were going to die. I think there was not a surprise there. But Disney has to water it down and not give you an overly emotional sequence. As you can tell, they don't like to give you any emotion. You know, they couldn't even with Guardians of the Galaxy. Uh, they couldn't give you one scene that just that doesn't end in a giddy laughter at the end. Just let us feel something. Just stop for 5 minutes. And Rogue One, I think, was so afraid of the tone being dark that they just made everybody so you know just so one dimensional. Again, the movie was a good movie. It's a solid movie as far as that is concerned. But I'm only saying that that's the issue I have with it. But but again, it was made by an actual director that knows how to direct. whereas Ryan Johnson, again, I think, and I also think he made a movie for us as opposed to making a movie for himself. For which I think even he said it himself that he might have done it differently, which I hope he didn't. I forgot the director's name. That's why I'm referring to him as him, as he. Maybe you guys can help with that. But yeah, uh, it's a little hot in here. Yeah, so I just think that you guys think this can be fixed. You think Star Wars is fixable? You think Hollywood is fixable? Because I don't. I'm not even a pessimist. I try to figure out how things sometimes need to break before you can fix them. And I think you have to admit that it's broken before you can start gluing the pieces together. And if you're just going to continuously worry about making money, sequel trilogy is beyond repair. Yeah. See, that is exactly the theme that most people believe. And I'm not against you. I really 100%. It's hard to deny. It's hard to deny. The only way is if we as people, as fans, if we really want to like this, it has to come from us and them. Obviously, we kind of have to work in tandem. We can't expect them to meet our expectations. It's not going to happen. So we, as ourselves, have to start looking inside and saying, "Am I prepared, for the sake of my fandom for this series? Am I prepared to forgive, move on? If I see that they're trying, am I prepared to move on and forgive and just move along and just say, okay, yes, this is garbage, but let's try to like the new characters. Let's try to see where it's going, and let's hope for the best and just put that away." You know what I mean? It's almost like that part, the stages of grieving, where you kind of have to forgive, you get angry, you reminisce. And I don't know all the stages, but I just know that at some point, forgiveness is there. And you kind of have to, like, let it go. And are we there? Are we there yet? I'm not there. I'm not. I'm not prepared to give. I can't forgive him until, like I said, Ryan Johnson to me is a big part in this. I want him shot. I want him shot out of a cannon relatively soon, because if he doesn't, then that's at least some acknowledgement that they did do something wrong. And Kathleen Kennedy too. Those two are those two have to go for the repair, for at least some of the mental and psychological repairs to be had. If that doesn't happen, then I can't forgive. Then I'm just going to consistently see, no matter how hard they try to retcon this, I'm consistently going to see Luke Skywalker. Whopper. I wanted to go to Burger King, guys. That's what's all in my head. Skywalker. Luke Skywalker with the lightsaber just over his nephew's bed. Just how do you get that thought out of your head? The guy who they warned him, don't go see your father, don't face your father. It's dangerous. He's the most evil. You commit genocide, for heaven's sake, and he tried to save his own dad. I hope They ditch Ray, Finn, Poe for the next series. They need to start a new trilogy series with new characters. I hope Disney distances themselves from this trilogy. I think that's the see my fear with that is that that's what Ryan Johnson's trilogy is. It's that's the one that's where they're going to go after. And I don't know, man. I mean, he's competent. He's shown some competency in the past, and maybe if he doesn't have something to weigh him down, like all of the history of Star Wars, what then? I can't. I can't with him. They'd have to. They'd have. I agree with you. Wiser in time, they have to go brand new, and they have to. They have to go. Yeah, I saw Looper. It was okay. It was meh. Again, I put it in that category of it's an interesting concept. I'm not going to tell you. You know, you're probably not going to see it because you probably beat him. But I mean, I would see it just to see. You know, that he did have some talent at some point. And but it's his own property. He can do whatever the heck he wants with it, and it's fine. You don't have any. There's no baggage associated with it, so you can go in and just be like, all right, it's a movie. It is. It's okay. It's not horrible. You can like it or you cannot like it. It's an interesting concept, an interesting idea. This, and it wasn't, as far as I can remember, just riddled with feminist messages. So it didn't have that going for it. So there's that. But yeah, I don't, I don't. I don't think he had enough in him. Like I don't think he had enough backing him up as far as experience to warrant this type of job. And then to get a trilogy before that, who does that, guys? Come on, who does that? Who gives somebody a trilogy before? It's like signing, like in sports, signing a guy to a 5-year contract who hasn't even played one game in the NHL yet, you know, or one game in the pros. He's just like he's a good rookie. We've seen his and then he's gonna sign 5-year multi-million-dollar deal, even though he did good in the preseason. We didn't see what he could do in the regular season, and it seems like it's backfilling. It seems like there's more behind the scenes than we know about this whole situation, which is the only thing I can think of that makes any sense. Like this, on a logical standpoint, from a business standpoint, none of this makes any sense. You know, you made less money. Even if you think that even if you can argue we made some money, they did leave money on the table. There's no doubt about that, right? They cut the fan base right in half. You can't. These are not deniable things. You can't even if you love the movie or you hate the movie, you cannot deny that the fans broken in half. What business model wants that to happen? What business model? The whole deal is you want to bring in the other half of your business. You don't want to cut the business in half, and it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'm on a tangent, guys. Sorry, but back to the thing. Yeah, I do think that Brian Johnson is the one you're talking about. I think that it'll be a brand new series with his character. I think the kid at the end with the broom. I think that I have a suspicion that that's the main character of his next series. I don't think that's a big leap to make either. It seems obvious, but I don't care. I have no interest in it. But yeah, and then there's this whole thing with Star Trek. And I mean, I'm a Trekkie. I'm a both. I love both. I hate when people say, "Well, are you true? You have to be one or the other." Why? They're both a completely different thing. So that's why I never had an issue being a huge fan of both. It's everything though. It's getting fatigued. I'm getting fatigued. Like every day you turn on the computer and you see YouTube, you see Twitter, you see whatever news, and it's another thing. It's another rehash, another reboot, another explanation, another person in the news. It's wearing you down. It wears us out, and I think people have been saying Star Wars is dead or dying. I think with Alex Becker, Alex something, I don't know his channel. He went on the thing saying that it's dead. It's not dead, but it's on life support. It's hard to believe disagree. JJ should make a miracle, otherwise it takes place in prequels. Star Wars movies ever. I never was. Some fans complain about JJ. Um, okay. I don't think JJ has. I don't think JJ is going to fix anything. I think he's too safe. I think it takes balls to fix this, and I don't think he has the balls. I don't think Disney has the balls to fix it. So I just think it's just going to be a bunch of fan service nonsense that we're all going to have to play mental gymnastics with ourselves in order to like. And a lot of us will. A lot of us, even who hate the movie, are going to go into it hoping for the best and are going to play the mental gymnastic game and come out probably liking it even though we shouldn't. So that's what I feel about that. And I think they'll win a few people back, but I still think that people who really, really are angry about this are not going to be changed by any of that. As far as Star Trek and J.J. Abrams, the J.J. Abrams verse, um, when they brought Star Trek back, which I have always been against, meaning I don't think Star Trek was ever designed to go into the past. Star Trek was always meant to be boldly go where no one has gone before, right? It's never meant to be. It's never meant to go back. And every time they try to bring back Kirk and bring back Spock and bring back, and now they want to bring back Picard. Every time they want to go back into Star Trek, which is about the future, is about to see the Star Trek is about the future. It's about seeing the how humans not only survive but thrive going into the future. It was always about to see the potential of humanity and what we could strive in. If we all come together as a species and the best of what we can do and the best of what we could achieve as a group, this is what Star Trek is supposed to demonstrate. It's supposed to be the best of humankind on display because we've seen tons of movies and shows about the worst of what we're capable of. Star Trek was the only shining beacon in my life where I would watch and say, this shows me that we can be okay, that we're going to be okay as a species, that we get past this petty bickering, we get past war, we get past racism and sexism and all that crap. We get past this. We're there. We're already at the level where we're all we care about is intellectual pursuits. Money doesn't play a role in it. We don't care about it. Everybody's taken care of. There's no famine, no poverty. It's just about exploration and seeing and just adventure. And that's really what it was. And also examining the human potential in the human mind. And to go back in time and to do retro, going back doing Spock and Star and Captain Kirk and any of that, or even before that, and say, oh, let's see what the Star Trek was before Kirk. It doesn't interest me because I don't care about what happens before Kirk. Because the whole point of Star Trek is to go forward to see what human beings can achieve, not what we've already seen them achieve. We don't need that. We've seen that. This is about going forward, new technology. And the problem that they keep going back is because it's the same thing. They have no creativity. They don't know. They don't want to offend anyone. And yet, so they don't want to just come up with a new technology like the transporter or whatever it is in, whatever technology that you can introduce. And here's the thing: they're introducing this one, the show Discovery, introduced a new technology which was quantum drive, and that means you could just pop it anywhere you want in the universe. That they didn't even have anything close to that, by the time. And if they did, you can believe that it's like the same thing with Star Trek, Star Wars. If the Force Lightning thing, was there, then why didn't they just do that the whole time? It's the same thing. If they had that technology way back when, well, life would have been a lot easier for Kirk. Back in for going forward. It retroactively ruins the universe just for the sake of some guy who doesn't understand what he's doing or the property he inherited, and he doesn't care to understand. He just says, "I have an idea." It's like a kid with, "I'm going to do whatever I want, and you guys have to like it because I did it." Um, Yeah, I know. That to me was, again, to do that takes away from the character of who Spock is. Spock, Spock You, to, again, you can't change a character that drastically. Spock is a character and he has specific things. Yes, he battles with his emotions, but he's already, um, but he's already, uh, he's already, what do you call it? He's already conquered them by that time, and he's not going to compromise his emotions for anybody. And there's he's very strict about the way and to make him sort of like, oh, we're just going to make him emote now because you know it makes it for easy writing or makes it for more entertaining writing. I guess they feel you're ruining the character, you know. And like I've said before, it's like if they did that to Superman, which they did do that to Superman. I know if you guys are big Superman fans, but one of the biggest problems with the Man of Steel was they took who Superman is and ruined him. Like I'll give you an example. In the Man of Steel, I don't know if you guys watched it, but there was a moment where Zod throws a truck at Superman, and it's a truck, tanker truck full of gas, propane or whatever, propane and propane accessories. Just throw it at him, and Superman, instead of grabbing it and just holding it so it doesn't hurt people, you know what he normally would do, you know, like he did in the old movies where he would just, you know, even at compromising himself, you know, he would hold it and just slowly so it doesn't hit people. He just sidesteps the truck. It just in the air, just goes quickly, just sidesteps it. It was a cool shot, looked cool, but he just went between the truck and let the truck hit the building behind him, exploding the building. And you're like, that ruining his character, Superman, by allowing him to sidestep a truck and let it hit behind him just shows a level of I don't give a crap. That's like that's not Superman. He cares about people, and he wouldn't, you know, he would even at his own detriment, he'd hold that stupid truck from hitting anything. He wouldn't just sidestep it like it was just a nuisance. It's like, oh, truck, and then he just destroys half the building behind it. And then, and just, you know, it's like you're ruining his personality and his character. And that's what they did with Spock when they made him make out. They ruined who he was. And then they realized the mistake because I think part two, then they break up. They're like, oh, we're angering too many people. The only thing that JJ did that I liked about Star Trek, the movie, as I always said, it's a hard thing to do. You're never going to please all the fans, especially of Star Wars or Star Trek. They're very passionate fans. Um, we are. And I thought that it was a smart move to kind of go on a tangent timeline, because then you could play with it, and then it won't affect the canon. You're just like, hey, this all happened. Whatever you guys saw in your time growing up, it still applies to your timeline. So you're happy and fine. We're not messing with your timeline. So what we'll do is we'll go on a different tangent timeline, and in this multiverse timeline, we could mess it around, and you guys can't get angry because we did a tangent timeline, um, which I'm probably hoping they do with Star Trek at some point because I just really can't see. I cannot stand the thought of what they did to Luke. So at least in the different timeline, some evil verse or the mirror verse like they have in Star Trek, which is an evil side of the good people. Um, they can have that and just make it. Yeah, that's evil Sky. That's evil James. That's a different Skywalker. This is the good Skywalker, the one we like. Sorry, bugs. So yeah, that's what I think about that. But I mean, it is unfixable, but we have to forgive and move on for the sake of us. If we, for our own good. Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Why? Yeah, rising tide. I really think that new. That's why I'm a big proponent of new. I always thought they were going to go with Star Wars even before. I always thought that they should have just introduced new characters and had the old characters maybe sprinkle them in cameos. Um, I think, but they have to write good and interesting characters. That's the bottom line too. It's not just going new and not writing interesting and engaging characters. That was the biggest problem, is that Rey is not an interesting and engaging character, and they're building the franchise around her. Um, they're so afraid to have her lose or fail. She's not an interesting character at all. Um, and then so that's going forward is the best way, because yes, there will always be people who will be angry with whatever you choose, whatever you change, whatever you don't like. But I think that at least if you're going, especially distant future, you can always include different technologies, more technologies, and also explain shit. Like it takes 2 seconds to explain something, like a little explanation for why something happened. Instead of just this happened and then let's not no explanation whatsoever. If there is a change to what we know, or as the canon, give us at least this much, a little half of a sentence that says, the reason for why force lightning works now is because of this, and we go, oh, okay, now I understand, right? The reason why hyperspace can be used as a weapon now is because of this, and then some new fact that they introduce that just makes it go, okay, that makes sense now. Just it takes 2 seconds to do, just proper writing, make us feel like, okay, all right, well, put some thought into that. That's fine. You're not ruining the past because of that, right? 2 sentences it takes to fix that, but they don't. They're just lazy. They don't care, and that's another problem with these movies. Star Wars, that is. Um, Even more than Star Trek, because at least Star Trek, as bad as it is, I think they put a little thought into it, a little, tiny. You get it about. But this one, none. It just seemed like, oh, we're gonna make movies, we're gonna package them now. It's gonna be like fast food. We're gonna get out there, and you know why? Because only kids are gonna like it. We just want our kids. And I think they just care about the kids market right now, which I think a lot of people have already said. That um, kids, they think the kids are the ones that are going to buy all the toys. But kids is a stupid market right now to be involved in, because kids aren't watching movies the way they used to. They're not buying toys the way they used to. In fact, if you go to a toy store now, I know you guys in the States, in the U.S., you guys don't have Toys R Us, and I feel bad for you. I do. My heart bleeds for anyone without a Toys R Us, because we still have our Toys R Us here in Canada, and thank goodness, because I think we got saved in Canada by a private investor, so we kept our Toys R Us. But you can go to the aisles and you'll see that toys are not priced for children anymore. Toys are priced for adults, knowing that adults are going to pay. The collectors are going to pay, for these collecting toys. And the kids aren't playing the way they used to because they're too busy Minecrafting. They're too busy playing video games and Minecrafting and on their cell phones. And yeah, there's still kids that play. I've seen them, but there's not as much as before, and you can't. I think the whole industry can't depend on kids the way they used to. So to not include adults in the market of toys is a stupid thing. And it almost seems like they're a bunch of old timers who are running Disney and don't know the times have changed. And to go just say, hey, let's just pander to kids, especially kids. They're not buying movies. They're not buying DVDs. They're not buying collection series. They're not going to spend. They may go see the movie once, but they're not going to go see the movie 3, 4, 5 times. That's us. That's us loons. That's older crowd that love these things. They're the ones who spend the money 1,000 times to go see something we love. The kid will see it once and then move on to something new. So to depend on kids is one of the biggest follies, mistakes that Disney ever made. And I know that's their whole thing, kids. You know, also theme parks. I know they want to keep buying guys with the theme park. Soon the world is going to be a Disney park. The entire planet is going to be just consumed by this monster that is Disney, and just the Disney World is just going to eat, this city and then that city, and soon all of the world will be Disney World. We're going to hear that music all the time and smell. What was that opinion? What was that you said when you went to? You just came back from. Didn't you just come back from Disney World and you said it was a smell like just to make you eat all the time? Why? They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop growing until they've eaten everything. It's just going to be like Pac-Man. I'll just eat everything and everybody. We're all going to be consumed by, Walt Disney's going to own the world. Unless we get involved and say, we got to put an end to that at some point. I know you guys aren't supposed to, Americans aren't supposed to have monopoly In Canada, believe it or not, monopolies are legal, which I hate the fact that it's legal in Canada, but in your country it is not, and it is very surprising that they're being allowed to get away with what they're getting away with. Um, Hopefully, something puts an end to that because, I mean, can you imagine if they buy Warner Brothers? I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Warner Brothers is a huge company, but if they do, that'll be it. That'll be it for the world. I always wondered why Warner Brothers never had. Maybe you guys can answer. Why they didn't make their own theme park? You know, it would have been cool to see like competing theme parks. You know, you have the Disney verse and Warner Brothers verse. I think Iger is friends in high places. He is. He is the friend that others have in high places, isn't he? He seems like he's the guy that other people have. Like Iger is the friend in the high place. I think, um, but I don't know. Obviously, these guys belong to some sort of Illuminati club. I don't know. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. But it's not hard to make friends with the government. You just, put a little money, put a money in their campaign. You got a friend for life. Here's a little something for you. Just put a little money in the pocket, and you'll have a friend for life. Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, that's it's a scary thought to think that Disney is going to own the world, and it's going to happen. Um, but um, maybe, and then again, maybe not. Maybe Star Wars is the fly in the ointment that crushes them. I mean, I don't want to see them crush either, but I definitely don't want to see them controlling everything. But maybe they need a little humble pie. I don't know. Anyway, guys, it's getting late. I got to wake up early tomorrow. How long has this been? This has been I think I said I was going to do this for an hour on. I started at 11:30. About 11. It's at 12:40 now. So I've been here for an hour, and I know you guys got here a little later, but I got to go. I'm really glad I get to talk to you guys because I've seen you guys comment on my channel before, and I know we've discussed a few things here and there, but it's good to actually talk. But thanks for I really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate you guys your viewing me, and I'm going to try to get a little earlier, hopefully, some other time. And but thanks, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming.